Start this episode off with Joey taking the ladies to Malta. Funny thing is, most of the ladies don't know where Malta is. They can't even find Malta on the map. But I'm sure that most of us can't either. Once in Malta, Joey goes ahead and chooses his first one-on-one date, and that one-on-one date is with Lexi. Here we see Lexi. With Lexi, they go out into Malta. They play some bocce ball with some of the locals. After playing bocce ball, Joey takes her on a tour of some of the churches. It really hits home for Lexi because her parents, her family, took her to church when she was younger, so it just brings back a lot of emotional memories for her. After going to the churches, they have dinner. During this period of time, Lexi opens up to Joey about something that she's never talked to anyone before, except for one ex-boyfriend. Now, guys, this is common in these shows, and especially in The Bachelor and Bachelorette, where people hold these apparent secrets and they don't tell anybody ever until they're on national TV and they let everybody know about it. I get it. It baffles me. More power to her for sharing it, but I don't understand how they hold on to these secrets, and then when a rose is on the line, they tell all these hidden gems. But anyhow, Lexi had some surgery when she was younger, and she's just may have difficulties having pregnancy. It hits home for me because my wife and I had difficulties during our first and second pregnancies, so I can really understand where Lexi's coming from in this. But again, to wait until national TV to share it with everybody, it's just awkward to me, but that's just me. After the solo date, Joey chooses his group date. So the group date will consist of all of the ladies except for Maria and Sydney, and we'll get into that in a minute. So all of the ladies except Maria, Sydney, and Lexi will go on a group date. At that group date, they will go ahead and play knights. So they're going to learn how to be knights. Now, as we said last week, during these group dates, there's usually a group date winner and then an overall winner. Well, during this group date, the group date winner was Autumn because Autumn was able to catch a sausage in her mouth as it spun around in circles on a rope. It was wild, it was crazy, it was entertaining, but Autumn was one of the few, if only, that didn't cheat and truly used her mouth to catch that sausage. So Autumn won a couple extra minutes with Joey down by the bay where they was able to go have a conversation and whatnot. But at the end of the group date in whole, once all of the ladies got to go have dinner with Joey and have conversations, the one-on-ones that they get to have, Kelsey T ended up getting the rose because she seemed the most genuine to Joey. You can see how Joey looks at her. There's definitely a connection there. Joey did have some one-on-one time with Daisy. We're going to go ahead and throw Daisy in there. He just looks at her different. I'm telling you, if Daisy doesn't win, I will be shocked at this point. He just looks at her different. I feel like she's safe for the entire rest of the show. I think Daisy's going to win. But during this group date, Kelsey T got the group date rose, so she's going to be safe at the rose ceremony. And next, we bring closure to the Sydney and Maria drama. Or do we? Unfortunately, no. So Joey takes Sydney and Maria out to a 2-on-1 date, and then Joey takes some time to have one-on-one conversation with each one of them. It baffles me why they don't have a 2-on-1 conversation and actually make them defend themselves, but they just don't. So Joey has a conversation with Sydney first. During that time, Sydney sticks to her story and basically says Maria's a bully and she attacks her and everybody in the house doesn't like her. Production doesn't show that. It's possible. We don't know at this point. I mean, it's one of them things where we know behind the scenes that production does a really good job at hiding some of these details and whatnot, but production doesn't show that. Maria then gets her turn. She basically shares her side of the story. She basically says that, Sydney was lying about some of the stuff that she said. Again, can't confirm that because production didn't show that in any of these episodes. We do know that Maria's basically, been standing up for herself, and she seems to be honest in what they show on camera, but we'll see how that goes forward. At the end of the 2-on-1 date, Joey has to make a decision. Joey sends Sydney home. He says he has a better connection with Maria, so he sends Sydney packing. Off she goes. Somebody goes back to the hotel. They grab Sydney's luggage. They walk out. Leah and some of the other ones gasp like it's a shocking thing. Everybody knew one of the two of them was going home, but apparently they all thought that it would be Maria. But Maria stayed. Maria got a rose. Sydney went home. And that brings us into the next part of this drama. And just when you thought the Sydney and Maria drama was over, that night at the cocktail party before the rose ceremony, Leah went ahead and got upset because Medina didn't show enough emotion that Sydney got sent home. Leah pulled Medina aside, basically lambasted her for not having enough gumption to stand up and be upset that Sydney got sent home. Going back to the last conversation, did production hide some stuff about Maria? It seems like it if you listen to what Leah saying about all this, it seems like there's something that production didn't show, because Leah seems pretty bent out of shape that Sydney went home and Medina didn't stand up for her. So we're going to see if that progresses into anything in the future. Obviously, Medina gets pretty upset. She actually goes and talks to Maria, and Maria asks, what's going on? Why are you upset? She tells her that she's got called out because she was being nice to Maria about the whole situation after Sydney, which is just baffling to me at this point. In all honesty, when it comes down to it, you've got to understand that in these shows, Bachelor, Bachelorette, along this lines, they starve these ladies. They basically make them stay up all night, so they exhaust them. So they're just not thinking straight when you get into a lot of these emotions. So production has developed this perfect equation on how to make these emotions run high in these shows. And they really show it in this episode when something is minimal, is, oh my God, you didn't stand up for your friend, turns into the drama of the episode. It's such a drama of the episode that we don't even have a rose ceremony in this episode. That rose ceremony will occur tonight on the Tuesday episode, and we'll recap that tomorrow. Thanks for sticking in. Husbands helping husbands. Guys, hopefully this helps you understand what the hell is going on in the show, because it's just crazy minimal drama on a lot of it, as Joey's just trying to find somebody to connect with. Sometimes you just wish Joey could go back and watch some of the video that's being filmed throughout the day and go, oh, okay, there's my answer. But that's not how it works. They really want to string it along and stoke that drama, because drama is views and views is content. So, see you tomorrow. Husbands helping husbands.